This is the only thing that's going to get me through this video. My God. All right, let's get it together. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin Bees. I'm a certified personal trainer, an anti-MLM advocate, and your internet big sister, if you want to call me that, who's not afraid to call out the scammy side of the wellness world. On this channel, we break down health misinformation, culty marketing tactics, and the unregulated chaos of the online supplement space, so you can make your own informed decisions based on facts, not fear or fairy dust. In today's video, yikes. Let's just say buckle up, because we are reacting to a live from a wellness influencer who claims her loved one survived toxic mold exposure, not with medical care, no, but with colonics, ozone gas up the nose, and what she calls spiritual healing. She also casually throws in some conspiracies about organic produce, attacks licensed doctors, and calls for RFK Jr. to launch a new health certification. I wish I were kidding, and I wish this was a parody. It's not. This is exactly the kind of pseudoscience we need to unpack, especially because this stuff is being promoted to vulnerable people with chronic health issues. I do want to give a content warning. This video includes discussions of medical misinformation, wellness cult tactics, and conspiratorial language. Viewer discretion is advised. Let's get into it.
Hey, good morning, you guys. So I'm going to post this to all of my platforms, the Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I know that when I post this to Instagram, you won't get the whole video. So please go to Facebook or my TikTok to watch all of it. First of all, I want to give a shout out, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things because I want to give you an update on Jay, but there's a couple of things while I'm waiting for my farm to open. I didn't realize I got here too early. I want this shared because I really, really want Robert Kennedy Jr. to create a MAHA certification for clean products, for farms, for food. I think that's really, really important. Heck, I'll help head it up because it is so important. It's why, we went to great lengths for the cleanliness of our product line that's going to come out. But it's so important because the USDA stamp, it's shit. Okay. And not only that, the non-GMO sticker, same thing. Oh, and I'm just going to say this before I launch into this. Stop buying your organic produce from Walmart, Costco, Target, and Harris Teeter or the Kroger brand because they are using Bill Gates' evil appeal.
Oh God, there is so much to unpack here. So we're less than a minute in and already deep into the Whole Foods Facebook group zone. Let's clear this up. Appeal is a food grade coating that helps reduce food waste and extend shelf life. It's been approved by the FDA and isn't part of some shadowy Bill Gates plot to poison the planet. Screaming evil at food labels doesn't make you an advocate, it makes you a fear-based marketer. And telling people to not shop at affordable stores like Walmart or Target, that's not just elitist, it's dangerous. She's using two fallacies in particular here in this section. The first one is the appeal to conspiracy, suggesting a hidden agenda with zero evidence. And the second fallacy, fear-mongering. She's attempting to weaponize food insecurity to drive clicks or build trust as she's sitting in front of her farm.
He's evil just anyways. But, yeah. So I have a lot to say. So this is going to be a little bit longer than normal. But I really wanted to talk to you guys about an update that Jay had yesterday. And I also want to talk about his healing. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to address the people. They're not doctors, in my opinion. And MUSC, where Jay spent 3 weeks of his life in there. I'm trying not to cry or get angry. I just want to be very matter of fact. So anyways, I want to give a shout out to Deeper Healing on Danielle Island and Dr. B. And also Danielle Holloway. I could be blanking on her name, but she's the owner. She's absolutely incredible. A bunch of you know her in the Charleston area, and that place is known internationally because I met people that were there from other countries and other states. But they have been indicative in helping Jay heal. So we got some interesting news yesterday. We got his mycotoxin test back, and his mold is off the chart. It probably would have been even higher, like at the onset of this, but it's still pretty bad. So we know pretty much he probably got it from some of the construction sites he was working from, building roads and bridges in Chicago. It could have come from one of the rehab buildings, refurb buildings that he was living in. But anyways, so now we're going through the process of that to exit the mold out of his body, which is no easy feat. You cannot do it with any prescription medication. Does not work. Now, I know for a fact that when Naomi had it in Q1 of last year, and I'm really surprised that it didn't affect Jay more physically and mentally. Naomi thought she was dying, you guys. She was paranoid. She couldn't sleep. Her autoimmune issues were off the charts. And so she started treatment there. So we're familiar with it, right? So Jay's doing all the things. He's going to do the colonics. Dr. B gave him a shot of ozone up his nose yesterday. And I'm going to tell you something else. Do you know what he told Jay? He told Jay that he was an inspiration and a true miracle. Now, this guy's been treating people with functional medicine for over 40 years.
Nothing says evidence-based care like blasting ozone gas up somebody's nasal passages. Here's a quick reality check. Ozone therapy is not FDA approved for mold, for autoimmune conditions, or really anything. It can actually harm your respiratory system, and colonics, you don't need to pressure wash your intestines unless your doctor tells you to, like before a colonoscopy. This is textbook wellness grifting, in my opinion, using a scary word like mold, rejecting medicine, and replacing it with risky, unregulated treatments that sound natural but have no scientific backing. She's using a couple fallacies here. First, the appeal to nature. Just because it's alternative doesn't mean it's safe or effective. And also false cause. He's feeling better, so it must be the ozone. That's not how medicine or science works.
So that was a really great thing. Okay. I want everybody to share this because it's really important that you have a functional medicine doctor in your back pocket. Mold removal from the body, because it crosses the blood-brain barrier, it's not easy to do. Now, you can go in hyperbaric chambers. Deeper Healing has a different take on it, and they do the oxygen masks while you're on a recumbent bike or a treadmill. So, again, doing all of that, getting his, getting the mold out of his body, that also can contribute to other health issues. So, he was really threefold, right? With the physical things that he had going on. Now, so hold on, guys. I will tell you that I went back and read some of his medical report. And I'm so grateful we did not get that until 6 weeks after we got home, because of the way that they wrote that report and spoke to us while we were there. Okay. So I am not going to give them the credit of calling them doctors. So Nina Kaiser, Kristen Wise, and I'm going to try not to butcher her name, Roswana Kurin. Okay, she was the hematologist. Nina was the chief resident, and Kristen Wise was apparently the head of internal medicine. Okay. So anyways, they had written in this report that they spent all of this time, 15 to 20 hours with Jay. Not true. That they explained, his 3 comorbidities is what they called it, and that he would die without treatment from the chemo ward. And if he went home and did rehab, that all of his bones would break. Well, guess what? None of that shit's true. So he's stronger and better than ever now. They also said in the report that he would never walk, never be normal without assistance.
This is where things go from misinformed to beyond reckless. She names licensed physicians, and I hope they see that video. She mocks their titles and accuses them of making up prognoses while claiming her partner is now walking and thriving solely because they rejected medical advice. Anecdotal recovery stories are powerful, but they should never be used to discredit trained professionals who made a diagnosis based on evidence and experience. If a medical opinion scares you, get a second one. Take somebody with you. If you feel uncomfortable going by yourself, don't seek comfort from a colonics clinic in Charleston that shoots gas into your face and calls it medicine.
A lift, a heavy-duty wheelchair, a heavy-duty walker, the toilet apparatus, and they said that he would never basically stand alone, is what they said. Well, you're wrong again. So, throughout this entire journey, there are three separate things, but they need to come together for anybody that's going to heal. One is that number one is the spiritual aspect of this. Two is the physical aspect of this. Three is the psychological or mental aspect of this. And that creates beautiful healing. And also too, support, right? A very supportive, strong network, family, friends. God bless all of you guys, Andrew, John, both Andrews. And speaking of that, thank God that we have really good friends. Andrew, who was a first responder for over 20 years. What's funny is that he had to come to the house and take out the staples because the chief resident, Trevor, missed 8 staples. And he's like, well, you need to bring him back in. And this is when he was immobile. I'm like, how are you going to do that? I can't do that. Are you kidding me? My farm is getting open right now. My buddy is helping Farmer Alex out. So it's really, really cool.
This part sounds harmless at first, where she was talking about the holy trinity of healing. I'm not here to knock anybody's spiritual journey or how they choose to go about getting mental support and healing, because it absolutely matters. But here's where it gets dangerous. When someone suggests that these replace medical treatment rather than complement it, especially when the person saying it has a farm stand, a product line, and a platform built on distrust in science and the government, she's using a couple fallacies here. First, the false dichotomy. She's framing it like you can only choose spirituality or medicine, but not both, which is not true. And hasty generalization. One person's improvement does not mean the original doctors were wrong or corrupt.
I see this happening, but we're just all one happy family, helping other people, getting the message out, being, really conscientious of, where you're eating from, right? So go to your farm, get the eggs, get the butter, get the meat. We don't have produce quite yet. We should probably see that up and coming. It's actually been really, really cold here. So we should see that up and coming here pretty quick. But I want you to share this video, and I want you to tag RFK in it, because we need that MAHA certification. So you guys, I'm going to go get my stuff before anybody else comes and it runs out. All right, you guys. So take care. I love you so much. And if there's anything that we can do to help, the water fasting, ketogenic diet, what you should look for in a functional medicine doctor. What else can I think of? I'm not one to speak on the spirituality of it. I've just seen Catherine, honestly, she probably is. And it's the reason why, him and Andrew, the first responder, Andrew Jones, they really are the ones that really kind of set him on that path. And I'm just following along. So you guys, thank you so much. I love you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Goodbye. I've never been more grateful that a video I'm reacting to is only 9 minutes, but I do want to address we need RFK Jr. to create a MAHA certification. Great. Fantastic. That's sarcasm, by the way. A new made-up label created by a political figure to bypass food safety standards. Yeah, totally not a culty red flag. The audacity to say that the USDA is trash, but RFK Jr. can somehow save us with a MAHA certification is absolutely unhinged. This is what happens when influencer wellness, politics, and conspiracy thinking all hop into a Jeep Wrangler together. No disrespect to the Jeep Wrangler owners. Y'all are incredible humans. These aren't just opinions. These are tactics. The influencer builds trust by sharing personal hardships, like we just saw, frames mainstream solutions as evil or ineffective, and then positions herself as the gatekeeper to healing, complete with her own product line and RFK-backed dreams. That's not advocacy, that's branding. Let's talk about my final thoughts. This isn't just about one woman promoting ozone therapy and calling Bill Gates evil. It's about a much bigger pattern, one I've been covering for a while on this channel. There's a well-documented pipeline that starts with fear-based wellness content, usually around toxins, mold, or broken systems, and ends with a product. Sometimes it's a supplement, sometimes it's a detox kit, or some kind of a digital download guide on how you can change X, Y, and Z with your health. And sometimes it's a multi-level marketing company. And in this case, she's not just pushing unproven treatments for mold toxicity while her husband battles cancer. She's also the founder of an MLM company called Fermaglo, which sells fermented hair care products using the same kind of pseudoscience we just watched from her live. The pattern is always the same: scare your audience, distrust the system, share your own healing journey, monetize it with a product, a membership, or a downline, and to do all this while your partner is fighting this serious illness. That's not just irresponsible, it's unethical. This isn't the first time I've covered her or Fermaglo. If you want the full breakdown of her multi-level marketing company's launch, manipulative language, and the wild health claims tied to shampoo, you heard that right. I'll link that video in the description below. But here's the bottom line. You can't heal your trauma by selling it to other people. And when influencers build trust through tragedy only to funnel people into unregulated products and false hope, it's not wellness. It's a scam using a soft focus filter. If you're dealing with chronic illness, mold exposure, or just feel overwhelmed by the sea of wellness content out there, here's what I think you should know. You deserve evidence-based care that listens to you. You do not have to choose between faith and science, and you don't need a $60 bottle of fermented shampoo or a nasal blast of ozone to be worthy of healing. Healing is hard enough. You shouldn't have to untangle scams and conspiracy theories just to feel better. If this video opened your eyes or validated your gut feeling, please give it a like, drop a comment, and share it with somebody who might be caught in this wellness to MLM pipeline. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. This channel, I hope, is your safe zone in a world full of snake oil salespeople. And let me know in the comments, have you seen this kind of fear-based marketing before? Was there a product at the end of the pitch? I'll have the full Fermaglo MLM breakdown linked below. Stay skeptical, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.